Did you know that Loma Linda had 5 citrus packing houses? Starting in the 1890s and through the 1960s, growing oranges and other citrus fruits was an important business in Loma Linda and Redlands. Workers picked oranges off of trees, and the oranges were transported to packing houses. Packing houses were the places where the fresh fruit from the tree was made ready to send across the country. At the packing houses, oranges were cleaned, the best oranges were selected for sale, and they were neatly packed into boxes or cartons. Why were all these packing houses built? Because the citrus industry was so important to Loma Linda, it had 5 different packing houses to pack all of the oranges coming from the groves. It may be hard to believe, but during the 1900s, almost everywhere you looked, you could see orange groves. Each of these packing houses were located by a railroad. This made it easy to load the newly packed boxes of oranges into a train. Oranges picked in Bryn Mawr could be on a train for eastern cities the next day. Delicious, nutritious California oranges, ready to be eaten in the dead of winter when fresh fruit was unknown in other parts of the country. If you were living during the 1920s through the 1950s and you lived in Loma Linda or the small area of Bryn Mawr, it was likely that you worked in a citrus grove or in a packing house. The very first packing house workers were Chinese immigrants who had come to California for the gold rush. Many Chinese and Japanese workers lived in Loma Linda and worked in the citrus industry. Later, white women began working in the packing houses. Many came from the Northeast and other cold climates, looking for warmer weather and the California dream. Mexican-American women began working in the citrus packing houses during the 1920s and increasingly in the 1940s, when many men were sent off to fight in World War II. During the war, Eunice Gonzalez lived in Loma Linda and remembers what it was like.
My name is Eunice Romero Gonzalez. The bulk of the work in the citrus was at the packing houses, where women graded and packed oranges, because, like I say, the men weren't around, so the women had to take over. And the graders were women, the bosses were women, the packers were women.
So what was it like to work in a packing house? Some advertisements claimed that packing work was easy, but the work was often difficult and did not pay workers well. Life inside the packing houses was noisy and busy. Most of the work was separated by gender. Men drove the trucks and forklifts and loaded the boxes of oranges into the rail cars. Women sorted and packed the boxes of oranges. To work at a packing house, you needed to be quick and agile. Workers would stand on their feet all day, pulling oranges into boxes and keeping up with the fast-moving conveyor belts. You needed to work fast because you were only paid based on how many oranges you could pack a day. This meant that it was hard to make enough money to support a family. Eunice Gonzalez remembers what it was like to work as a packer.
It wasn't a thing that you worked by the hour. So in order to get a salary to maintain a family, you would have to pick or pack a tremendous amount of oranges. That was basically one of the reasons why I quit, is because I wasn't fast enough.
So why don't we see packing houses today? The high point of the citrus boom was World War II. After that, the demand for fresh oranges gradually declined. People were eating more processed food, more fast food, and less fresh fruits and vegetables. The citrus industry became less important to Loma Linda as new businesses like the hospital and home building became more profitable. One by one, the packing houses closed, and most were destroyed by fires. The oranges grown in Loma Linda are now taken by truck to the last remaining packing house in Redlands. New buildings were built on the old spots. The La Loma Credit Union stands where the Bryn Mawr Fruit Growers Association packing house stood. The City of Loma Linda corporate yard was built on the location of the Allen Brake packing house. And there's an Arco AM/PM where the Mission Citrus Association had their packing house. When you visit these spots in Loma Linda, try to imagine what it would have been like in the old days when the packing houses still stood and you were surrounded by orange groves. It's important that we remember the citrus industry, but most importantly, the people who worked in it. Their stories are important to remember, listen to, and learn from.